let's talk about the walk towards college. Tell us about that journey.
Right. So senior year coming in, once I got that 1690 on the SAT score, pretty much I understood that once I put my race, on the college application with that SAT score, it was going to make me look like such a better student only because I was from, my address says the Bronx, New York, so they could look up the zip code and see what it was. And then, once you put your race, then now they compare you against the rest of your race. They don't compare you against all the other students, which is stuff that, you hear now and again, but it's kind of like college and SAT myths, but like you don't really know until you really go through it. But I understood that ahead of time, in which some other students didn't, which is like, as long as you do much better than the score they expect you to do, you're looked at as a good light, as opposed to if I was like an Asian student, they expect me to get the 1690, so it doesn't look as good. It's unfortunate, but I was able to use it to my advantage. So at that point, my score was like 300 points higher than what they would expect for the average Black student. So I knew applying to predominantly white schools, most of them are looking for the diversity quotas and stuff like that. So I was gonna have the upper hand, just getting into those schools, in which I didn't have the upper hand applying to like the SUNY and CUNY schools. Because my mom made too much for me to get in through HEOP. My grades were perfect for HEOP. My GPA, I had like a 80 out of 100. I didn't really try hard with GPAs. I didn't do much participating in homework, so that would lower my grade. But I would always get A's on all the tests, so that would just keep me at 80. So it worked out in my favor. But the SAT score, especially the math score, and then my college essay writing about my experience at through the Order of the Feather and how much of an asset I'd be, combining that experience with a college experience helped me get into the schools that I got into. Mr. Thompson, SBI, he told me about St. Michael's College, which I never even visited. He just gave us a list of the schools that he was promoting and reasons why. So I went to collegeboard.com, which I'm assuming students still use now, I would hope. And the three things I wanted in whatever college I went to, I wanted them to be a Division II basketball program because I wanted to be able to earn a scholarship. I wanted them to have an electrical engineering program because my sophomore year is when I decided I was going to go after electrical engineering as opposed to chemical engineering, which was my second choice. And that was because I enjoyed and was better at math over science. And then the third thing was, what was it? Actually, no, I don't even think there was a third thing. I think that it just needs to be like within a certain price range. So I think I told myself if I can get in, for $20,000, that's perfect. So I applied to basically all the SUNY schools that had engineering programs. I didn't get in because of HEOP. Because I didn't apply to HEOP, I guess it was more competitive, so I wasn't able to get into the schools. I got waitlisted for schools like, University of Buffalo and University of Binghamton, but like I knew other people getting in that had, the same kind of GPA, let's say like an 84, but the SAT score was a 1500. So I knew, okay, if I was an HEOP student, I could have got it easily. So that was frustrating. And but once I found St. Michael's, I got in contact with the coach ahead of time, and he was, I looked at the program, I looked up the NE10 conference that they was in and everything. So I felt like if I went there, I could, try my best, get a relationship with the coach and earn a scholarship. So I did early decision there and enrolled there. So I thinking like that summer going into college and that spring, I had schools even reaching out to come for workouts. I played volleyball my senior year, so I had a school even reach out to me to come play volleyball. But I never went to any of the workouts because I already made my decision. I was going to go to St. Mike's.
So if you had it to do all over again, would you have gone to more of these schools and checked out what they had to offer?
Yeah, because I didn't end up playing basketball at St. Mike's. And I didn't end up graduating with an engineering degree from St. Mike's. So I definitely would have went. Because the three schools that I spoke to the coaches, there was four schools, but one of them I didn't speak directly to the coach because I didn't want to go. There was Norwich, which is a D3 school, and it's like a old military school, but half the campus isn't a military school. And I was just like, I'm not trying to be on a military campus in Vermont. And they were D3, so he was telling me they could like finagle financial or academic scholarship due to my SAT score because I'd be an athlete, but I didn't trust it. Then the other three schools that were all D2 were it was a school in South Carolina, I don't like Charleston University or something like that, which was a really good D2 program. The coach was even distinguished. He called me and everything. And I was supposed to go for a workout, but I didn't go because I just didn't feel like spending the money to go down there for a workout. And I already decided I'd go to St. Mike's.
So going back and knowing what you know now, would you have gone and spent the money?
Yeah. The other school, probably not. The other school was Western Kentucky or something like that. I believe they're D2, and I spoke to that coach. But I was like, I don't want to go all the way out to Kentucky, and I don't even know. I don't even know how much a plane ride, would cost. But I knew I didn't have the money for it.
I have time in Kentucky, but I haven't heard good things.
Right. And the last school was what was it? It was like Washington State University in St. Louis or something like that. And that school was actually a tremendous engineering school. Like that was like a small, tiny version of Georgia Tech. Like you needed
What school was that?
Washington University in St. Louis. Like that was the whole name. So
if maybe if you had it over again to do, you might have chosen that school. Were they offering you a financial package?
Yeah, so basically they were a D3 school, but they were like one of the top D3 schools. So the coach was saying the same thing like the other school, that they could finagle an academic scholarship because of my SAT score, because even though I'm an athlete, they could pressure the school to send money for me academically. And I didn't want to go there. Well, it's a good thing I didn't go there because that's, they had all the Ferguson riots and all that stuff while I was in college. So I would have been in the middle of all of that out in St. Louis. So I'm glad I didn't go there. But yeah, I wasn't too pressed about going to the end. The only school that I really think I would have wanted to visit would have been that one in South Carolina, or one of the many community colleges or junior colleges that